You're over to get a tarot reading on this channel, and remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future.
They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Because she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back.
Indeed, the witch is very much back. Good evening, everybody. I do hope that you are seeing this bit for the first time. I did just realise I was speaking and we weren't actually live, so I don't know whether this is going to be a replay or not. Listen, if you're getting major deja vu right now, that's my fault. Don't worry about it. It's not a glitch in the matrix. It is my fault. Good evening, Sarah. I hope you are well, my friend. So then, this is Beyond Authentic, where we do tarot readings and other witchy stuff, and we are always up for self-empowerment. Now, on this channel, we're going to do some readings today. Thank you, Patricia. We're going to do some readings today as we go through the stream. Let me just get the slow mode set up. As we go through tonight, there are two ways for you to get yourself a tarot reading. Okay, the first way is to go ahead and wait until I open up a round and then put your question in. How does that work? Very, very simply. You'll know that I've opened a round because this noise will play. At that point, it's time to get yourself in and to start typing your question into the chat. Okay, so type your question into that there chat, starting with the word question. At that point, the keeper of the questions will select one of those questions at random, and then that person will get their reading read. If, however, you don't want to take a chance on the randomized situation, then you can always send your question through as a super chat. Any amount will guarantee you the next slot in the list. Basically, that will guarantee you the next position. If you want a longer reading, that is also possible while we're on the live stream. You can go ahead and send a super chat of £8 or $10 or more. That will guarantee you a longer reading. It can be a 6-7 card reading. Sometimes I've even done 10 card readings. So if you want a bit more detail, a bit more nuance, that's the way to get it. You do have to be a subscriber of the channel, so make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And that is going to change, by the way. That is going to change as of, I think, as of probably this week, that you won't have to be a subscriber for various reasons behind the scenes. But yes, so that will be, in fact, I might just turn it off now. I've just turned it on. I'll keep slow mode on, but I will turn off subscriber mode. So anybody is more than welcome. There we go. It's already, for some reason, it's already clicked off. But there you go. So then all you need to do on this channel to get a reading is to wait until I open up a round. But we do actually have some rules on the channel. Obviously, the main rule, okay, the number one rule on this channel is please be polite and courteous to everybody here, because everybody is welcome. But we do have some housekeeping. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. That is very, very important. Please do protect your own internet security, your own real life security. Don't dox yourself on the internet because you want a tarot reading. Okay, now what I mean by that, obviously you're not going to put your bank number, your sort code, your account number, the 3 digits from the back of your card, your social security number in the US. You're not going to put all that in the chat anyway, are you? Because, you know, we're not, hopefully nobody that watches me is that dumb. But But it also means be careful what you type, okay? Because you could easily type, hi Lisa, I've just moved into the red house opposite the big church where I live. And I just want to know if this is right for me, because I'm a bit funny about the church, because it's a well-known church in Stoke Newington. Is that a town or a village? I'm not sure. Anyway, in Stoke Newington, it's a really well-known church in Stoke Newington. And so I don't want any bad juju, right? That might be a really innocent question. For most of us, I've got no idea where Stoke Newington is, right? I think it's a town or a village. I don't think it's a county. It's definitely not a county, I don't think. But if somebody lives there, or if somebody goes on Google Earth and they want to, they will be able to go and find where is Stoke Newington, where is the famous church. Google it. Oh, there's 3 options. Okay, let's have a look on Google Earth. Let's see which one is near the red house. Oh, there's a red house opposite the second church. That person then knows where you live. They'll be able to get your address from that, and it's a hop, skip and a jump once they've got that details to getting your information. So please just keep your all of everything. Please keep it stumm, if that makes sense. Right, let's have a look in that there live chat. I can see we've got a few people in tonight already. So good evening to, who have we got in? Good evening to Sarah. I've said hello to you. Good evening to Patricia. Good evening, Patricia. Patricia is one of our mods. You can see who our mods are because they have their name in blue with a little spanner by their name. Now I can see the members' names in green. I think you can too. So if you see somebody with their name in green, that means they have chosen to become a member of the channel, one of our Crow collective. And that is something that you can choose to do if you so wish. The little coffee cups by some people's names, those are color coded to tell us how long they've been members. So that's what that's all about. Good evening to Dormouse. I'm very good. Thank you, Sarah. I'm very good. We've just been just got back from Slimming World. We'll be going live tomorrow to talk about that one. Yeah, I hope you had a lovely birthday, Dormouse. I hope it was good turning the age that you turned. Oh, Holland is here as well. Good evening, Holland. Everybody says hello to each other. It's such a friendly community here. Dormouse. Let's say that card hitting the tower. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, Dormouse. Oh my God. Let's say the card hitting tower block, because Dormouse got a reading and it was the tower came up, and the tower is all about big, like life-changing, all of a sudden event, rug being pulled from under you, big time events. So Grumpy, if you don't know, by the way, Grumpy is what Dormouse calls her husband. Apparently he's fine with it, so we're allowed to call him Grumpy. It's not an insult. We're not bullying him. Apparently he's got t-shirt and mugs with it on, so it must be a Snow White thing or something. Could be a bedroom thing. I don't know. We don't ask on this channel. Anyway, Grumpy took the car to pick up fish for the daughter. I think to eat, not... or maybe in a goldfish tank, I don't know. Someone T-boned it. It's likely written off. Whole day spent on the phone to the insurance. You haven't put... I hope Grumpy is okay, Dormouse. I really hope Grumpy is okay. No one was hurt. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I was just thank you. Oh my God, you went to bed at 6 o'clock with a coffee. Oh my God. Well, again, I mean, this is it. You see, that is a way to start your 60s. Hopefully that's all out the way now. And the rest of it, just think you get a brand new car. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You'll get a new car on the insurance, won't you? Good evening to Melinda. Melinda lives across the seas over in America, but somehow we are related or something. Melinda is convinced that we are sisters from a different mister. Yep. That is what Melinda is absolutely convinced. And seeing as my family go back into the naval background, my family were sailors. I would say seamen, but you know, people snigger at that, but they were sailors going back many generations in my family, so it's more than possible. Dormouse is saying hi to anyone that you missed. My face was like yours when Grumpy called. I can imagine. I can imagine. Oh my God. I hope everything is okay with Grumpy. I really do. Or long lost cousins. Yeah, possibly long lost cousins. 3-4 times removed or something like that. If we ever do, I was about to say we'll have to do that. What is it? 1, 2, 3 and me. But they went bust. I'm really glad I've never done one of those DNA things, because when the company goes bust, you don't know who's going to buy that information. It could be anyone. Could be a cloning company. Could be clones of you walking around soon because they've got all your DNA information. Bit scary, that, isn't it? And what? Did they have Roger the Cabin Boy? No. And there wasn't a Roger the Cabin Boy in Captain Pugwash either. That is not what actually happened. It was a fake. It's a bit like if you look on those of us. So listen. I've looked at my analytics, okay? Most of my audience are around 10 years either way of my own age. I'm 48, so I mean, I'm 32. So my audience are somewhere between mid-60s and mid-30s. No, that's not right. Mid-60s and mid-20s would be... I mean, okay, I'm 48, but you know what I mean? But my audience is in that bracket, same as me, right? So you will all know Captain Pugwash didn't actually have a Roger the Cabin Boy. It was a comedy thing. But also, have a look on YouTube, right? If you're my sort of age and you grew up in the UK watching Rainbow, right? Have a look. They did a very special filming of an episode for it was somebody's birthday, either the director or the camera operator or somebody within the Rainbow like film what's it called, production team. It was their birthday and they filmed a very rude version. It's the one that's become very famous, and it always gets clipped and put on YouTube and TikTok and all of that lot. And it's the one where I think George the hippo has got a banana and they're going 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin. Oh, and it's all of those smutty innuendo jokes, right? It was done specifically for somebody's birthday. It was never meant to get released, and then it obviously leaked. But what people have said on that is, I always knew Rainbow was smutty. I always knew it was dirty. I always knew. No, it was a one-off special. It's just that people always thought and made those playground jokes like Roger the Cabin Boy. But do go and look at it. It's very, very funny. If you haven't seen The Naughty Rainbow, it is very, very funny. And I like when TV shows do special things. It's like if you look in, if you do the same with Star Trek The Next Generation, there's episodes where the cast are singing and doing high kick. There's all sorts of bits and stuff where they break character because it's a fun thing that's happening behind the scenes. I love stuff like that. Anyway, talking about stuff that I love, I blooming love tarot. Do you know that? Do you know I love tarot? I love the fact that I have no idea how it works, right? I genuinely have no idea how it works. I've got no idea why when I put down some cardboard with pretty pictures on, right? I have no idea why I get messages and memories and things from my life that flash up that mean something to whoever I'm reading for. I've got no idea why that happens. I don't claim that it comes from a deity, from a higher power, from the angels, from demons, from Beelzebub, from Lord on high, from Krishna to Buddha. I don't claim any of that. For me, they're just pretty bits of cardboard that I am able to look at the symbolism for, and somehow my lovely air dragon Wispy, who is an egregore thought form, puts that information in my head, right? I've got no idea how that happens. I've never claimed it. So tarot is for absolutely everyone. And what I mean by that is you can be of any faith or none, and tarot will still have meaning for you, can still have meaning for you, okay? So it isn't important. It doesn't affect your belief structure. It doesn't affect anything else. I've had a few messages on Instagram, which I keep forgetting, but I will put in the chat. My Instagram is, yep, it's in the chat now. So you can always have a look for it there. Nope, that's not right. That's the Instagram one. Oh, hang on. I've not pressed the right blooming thing. Hang on. But yeah, I've had a couple of messages on Instagram where people are like, I would get a tarot reading, but you know, it's against my religion, or I think in the Bible it says this. Listen, tarot, the way I read it, it doesn't have any of that, right? It is literally just me interpreting the symbols. So don't worry about it conflicting with other religions. It really doesn't. I don't put any of that stuff into it. So then, all of that being said, I think we've caught up with everybody. The notifications have gone out. I've explained how tarot works. So let's have a look at the decks I'm going to be using today. You've heard me right, the decks. I'm going to do things slightly differently today, slightly differently. So how, oh, actually, let me just make sure that this is all the way across and is more like so. There we go. So how this works is, there we go, wait for it to focus again because I moved it. There we go. So then this is I've got two decks. If regulars here will probably realize that this deck, the only one that's in this leather case, which is one that I attempted to make years back, is the amazing Vice Versa deck. Okay, now this deck is literally what it says on the tin. Okay, we have, it's a double-sided deck, and one side we have the more standard version of the cards. So this is the one that was on top with the sun. I don't know if you can quite see, there is a face in the sun, but that's the standard version. And then we flip it and we've got a completely different version. Both of these are valid. They've got slightly different meanings. And then when the cards are reversed, there's also a different interpretation. Okay, so I thought, we haven't used this deck for quite a while. We'll bring this one back for tonight. The other one I've got is the Tarot 3D. Now this was a gift from the lovely Patricia, and this is, I know it is what it says on the tin. It is a, look at that, doesn't that look weird? Ooh, look, it's coming away from the deck. This is a three-dimensional deck, but it's also only a main arcana deck, the major arcana deck. Okay, so it's just the big hitters. So what I am going to use this for tonight, look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? What I'm going to use this for tonight is for some clarification, and maybe if we need to pull something to see the symbolizer, or if we need to see a particular element of something that's going on in the questions. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do tonight. So perhaps a slightly different style of no, I just put them on top of the computer and you heard it go beep beep. Slightly different version of the way that I normally read on the channel tonight. I just thought it might be a bit interesting. So then, all of that, Melinda, you know that I posted a video on it, but how did Wispy come about and come to you? So Wispy wasn't my first dragon. I created an egregore, or is it a servitor, or is it a thought form, or is it a tulpa? All of those are different words for something slightly different. Okay, slightly different. They are all created beings, if you like. Okay, and those created beings, that created energy, in some forms can become almost sentient. In other forms, they're almost like a metaphysical servant. They'll do a task, carry that task out, and then that's the end of their purpose. Originally, my original dragon, we on the channel call Rocky. It's not his magical name, but we call him Rocky. He is the oldest dragon. He is the oldest version. And I created him. There's a whole podcast episode, which again, I will link just in the chat. I created Rocky. All of the other dragons have hived off of Rocky. So basically, I created the original dragon, and then as the need for further egregores, servitors came about, I hived off elements of Rocky to create the other dragons, and eventually ended up with 5 dragons. So then that is literally kind of how it was. So if you imagine, for those of you that are more into the witchcraft side of things, if you imagine a big spell, right? There's a big spell working. It's a continually working spell. You're constantly putting energy into it. Say it's for healing for a particular loved one. Say it's your partner, right? So you're working on healing your partner, you're every day, you're chanting, every day you're putting in herbs, you're burning the candles, you're doing whatever your ritual is. And then you need to add some healing for a friend. So you would carry on that ritual that you've been doing, but you might add something to it, or you might, add some of that energy you might direct towards your friend. So the original spell is intent for your partner, and then whilst you're doing that, you're also using some of that energy for your friend. So it's a bit like that. I created the original dragon, the original egregore, and then amended the programming and basically popped out a different version. And it just happened that as I went through the year, and bearing in mind the first dragon was created many years ago, I think probably, if I say 18-20 years ago, if I said something different in the podcast I was prepared for the question. So, but I think it was about that, maybe longer. You'll know I don't understand how time works. I could have been sat, as I'm sat here now, it feels like yesterday we were live, if that makes sense. Even though it was 2 days ago, and 2 days ago it felt like it was yesterday, even though it was 5 days ago. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that is basically what happened. And over the years I ended up with 5 dragons, which happened to correspond to the 5 elements, and they've been with me in magical workings and stuff ever since. So yeah, thank you for the question. 3D deck didn't work for you. You knew you could never work with it, but yeah, I can work with it. I think I like the 3D element for YouTube. I think it's fun, but yeah, all decks are different. Yeah, which is why with the vice versa deck, I'm showing you here as if this camera's on and you can't see it, but with the vice versa deck, that is why I like it, because this can also be quite blunt. And you all know me, I quite like the blunter readings. I don't like the wishy-washy, airy-fairy sort of, you're going to meet a tall, dark stranger too. I don't like that style. So for me, this deck is also, because it's got 2 sides and because it's got that reverse energy, there's a lot of interpretations that the cards give. And so as you're going through it, you've got this element of the 9 of Swords, but this element somehow looks worse. Do you know what I mean? It like, this looks bad, this feels worse because you're trapped by that window. From this side you can't see, this could be a massive room. From here you can see there is a person that is actually trapped. So it's not just a nightmare card, it's worse than that. Anyway, I do believe oh, thank you, my darling. I will be doing some Q&A type questions at some point. I would absolutely love it if I do a video asking for questions, okay, about witchy stuff, tarot stuff. I might stick that up very soon, and I will then do a series of videos talking about it. So if anyone does have any of those type of questions, you can also of course send it through on Instagram, and I will take those questions and put them into a long video talking about some stuff. But also the podcast will be coming back again. So yeah, again, yep, some decks are shouty and want to work and understand you. Other decks are rude and refuse to acknowledge you. Absolutely. And there are some tarot decks that are very begrudging in their information. It's almost like you have to it's almost like you have to give them so many gifts. Do you know what I mean? And it's almost like some decks you have to be very, you have to not just ask permission, because I ask permission with all my decks before I use them, and as I'm getting to know the decks, but some decks are almost a bit standoffish and they demand things of you, if that makes sense. So I don't have a PO box yet, Sarah, but I will answer your question that you sent on Insta. I will message you. Don't worry about that, my darling. You're a cave woman, don't understand Instagram, so you avoid. Well, in that case, Dormouse, I will open a question and I will do a video, and it will just be questions for a future Q&A, okay? And I will invite you all to put your questions on that, in the comments on that video, if that makes sense. I will get that done probably this week, actually. So then, I do think it's that time of the evening. We've waffled for a good 20 minutes. By the way, the reason I was late, I actually was talking to y'all. So I don't know yet whether or not I was actually live, whether it's been recorded on YouTube or it just wasn't out to people. But I actually was talking and doing things, and I was happily conversing before I realised that my little button in front of me on my screen still hadn't depressed when it said go live. So yeah, that was a thing. Also, apparently on Sunday when I ended the stream, I didn't end the stream. So thank you to those of you that were sending me messages going, Lisa, you're still live. Your stream is still live. There's nothing on it, but you're still live. I was like, oh, bloody hell. So then let's have, oh yes. This is unfortunately a thing from Instagram. This is a thing that happens. Yes. Hello, my name is Sergeant Major Steve. I would love to move to the UK and I am looking for a person of gender and age here. And I have seen your profile and I am very interested. You go, oh, here is a picture of my nether regions. No, thank you. Delete, block. Yes, that's a very common thing, Patricia. Do you know what though? If you don't block them, and they do send you those rude pictures through, you control them quite happily, right? You just go, oh, I've seen bigger. Oh, is that all you've got? Oh, you ain't got much to work with, have you? Oh, no, sorry, not for me. No, sorry, not for me. Wouldn't touch the sides. Do you know what I mean? When they are sending you pictures of aubergines, because obviously that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, shall we move very rapidly on? I think we should. So then, you didn't see it. I came on at 6 minutes past. Okay. Well, then I was talking for 6 minutes to myself. That's good to know. Thank you, Sarah. Anyway, go on. Let's have a round. Shall we start a round? So then, oh dear. It's good timing, isn't it? So the round is open. The first round of the evening. If you would like to get a question read, this is how you do it. The details are on screen and also in their live chat. So if you would like a reading, all you need to do is get your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and then one of those will get selected at random. Don't forget, you've got the option, if you want to guarantee that your reading is up next, you can do so by sending a super chat of any amount. Okay. Any amount will get you into the first slot, if you like. And if you want to, you could also... Patricia, I've just seen that pop up on the screen and it's made me completely giggle. If you want a longer reading, you can do so by sending a super chat of £8 or $10 or more. Yes, I have also sent that as well. I've replied with that going, oh, that looks... Oh, if I were you... that doesn't look normal. If I were you, I'd definitely get that looked at, because that should not be like that. It's very funny. Good evening to, who did I just see pop in? Good evening to Culture Envy, and good evening, of course, to Nanette. Hello, everybody. Nanette, I hope your grandma is well. Let us know. We're just about to open the first round. So the questions are, or the question round is open. Get your questions in. Nanette, let us know how your grandma's doing, please, my darling. And yeah, you got 30 seconds to get your questions in if you would like a question. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Yes, indeed. We've had no questions on that round, so that's absolutely fine. Not sure why. No, I know. It is. And trust me, Holland. I mean, with the best will in the world, many of them aren't the most attractive things to see anyway. Do you know what I mean? Many of them are not the most attractive things to see. Thank you, Melinda. I will do you next, my darling. I will do you next. Nanette, she's in surgery right now. Okie dokie. Give us 1 second, my darling. Give us 1 second. Right, Tank. Tank. We need you, my friend. We need the field medic version of Tank, please. Field medic Tank. Computer. Studio lights to green. Okay. Here we go. Let's put that one on green as well. There we go. So then, Tank, I need you to look after somebody very special. It is Nanette's grandma, and she is currently with the surgeon. So Tank, we need you to go and do your wonderful thing. Go and do your field medic. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. And Tank, we need you to go and do this, please, for Nanette's grandma. Hopefully let it be right and for the good of everybody involved. But we want Nanette's grandma to come through the surgery as well as she possibly can, and we want you to help guide the surgeon's hands. That's what we need you to do. Nanette's grandma's a fighter. We just need the surgeon to do the very, very best job with the best guidance that they can. So Tank, make sure that you are there with the surgeon, please. Thank you very much, Tank. And yeah, go to. Right. Okay. Hang on. I feel like Tank needs a bit of an... okay, we're just going to do this. Bear with everybody. Sorry. If this fizzles... Right. Oh. Right. There you are, Tank. Yep, I knew it would. Right, there you are, Tank. Thank you. There you are. Right, okay. So, fingers crossed. Everything crossed for you, Nanette. We'll send everything positive out for your grandma. We really will. And we'll get I'll turn that to green as well. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we'll get Tank to go and just try and help out a little bit. Every little helps. But obviously, Nanette, you are welcome to share if you want to in the chat. If you don't want to, and you just want to have an evening where you just get to be Nanette rather than worrying, we can do that as well, my darling. So yeah, hopefully everything works for you. Right, let me have a quick look in the chat. Melinda, I've got your question up. So I'll pop that on there. Coming here is so good for the soul. Thank you, Dormouse. We try. Sending you a hug, Nanette, and good thoughts for your grandma. Absolutely. Thank you, Dormouse. It's a long story. Going to take you a bit of time to tell you what's going on with grandma. Yep. Sarah's sending healing. Oh yes, no, yes, that's also a thing to do with the eggplant pictures. That's another thing to do. Let me hang on. Where's it gone? Oh, this blooming thing. Hang on. Where is it? Where are we? Oh, I can't. Hang on a second, everybody. The way this works is sometimes it is very difficult for me to find the messages. There we go, that one. Got it. Right, got it. I wonder if that's going to let me... Is that going to let me make this one bigger? Nope. How about if I make this bigger from down here? Yes, right, okie dokie. Hello, Ed. Okay, my darling. Oh, my darling. They had to reschedule the surgery, then they had to redo it. Okay, my darling. Well, look, fingers crossed for you, Nan. Hope everything goes as well as can possibly be hoped. We will. I'm sure everybody else on the channel that is able to will send some positive energy your Nan's way as well. Oh, hang on. I've just realised what I've done. There we go. So then, Melinda, let's do your question, my darling. So let's swap over to the other screen. So for Melinda, we have a general reading. So we're going to do that right way through here now. And for a general reading, I'll tell you what. Yes, we will. I'll tell you what, Melinda. We'll use I'm going to use both decks. Okay, I'm going to use both decks. We'll see what happens in that there chat. Good evening, Alina. Let's have a look. There we go. So then, for Melinda Wispy, let's see what we are dealing with. So then, Wispy, I want there to be a signifying card for Melinda for this coming week. Okay, a signifying card for Melinda specifically for this coming week. What card would be Melinda's signifier? We are going to do a very minimal cut because it's only half a deck. There we go. And we are looking at your signifier, Melinda, is... Ooh, it is the Star. My brain always goes Aquarius, the Star. So this is a period ahead for you now. Look at that shining light. I mean, you know, 3D boobies and a dainty bush. But anyway, it's an Amberlyn Reid quote. I need to stop quoting her, don't I? We will be doing another video about her on the other channel as well. So the Star, what is the Star? What does that mean for me? Well, for me, the Star is all about those wishes and goals, okay? And this is one of those things, Melinda, if this is your signifier, be careful this next week or two that you are keeping your feet solidly on that ground. Okay, be careful that you aren't having one foot on the solid ground and one foot here in the water. The water signifies emotions, so be careful you're not getting too swept away with the emotional side of things. The stars can be incredibly an incredibly good signifier that you are working towards something. You've set a goal and you're working towards it, but they are also very much suggestive of, you know, perhaps you need to just make sure that you haven't got your head in the clouds. Do you know what I mean? So then a 3 card for Melinda. Going into a little bit more, a 3 card for Melinda. We'll do the standard, where you are, what you need to know, and what is the future opportunity for the next couple of weeks or so, Melinda. Let's have a look. By the way, you'll have to let me know when your package turns up. Hopefully, I mean, it's going airmail, so it'll take forever and ever 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 and ever. But you know, oh gosh, what is wrong with me today? What is wrong with my hat? I keep asking that every single week. I say that, don't I? It's fibro. Just get used to it, Lisa. It ain't going to change. Right then, we do this. We do the cuts because obviously you can't see what the cards are. I'm not even looking anywhere near them. So where you are right now, the 4 of Swords. What you need to know: the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, all of which are reversed, just to show you. The next card is upright, reversed, upright. So there is a mix. They're not all upside down. So interesting that all 3 cards have come up reversed. So the 4 of Swords this way round. What is the 4 of Swords? 4 of Swords, I always say 4s are about stability. They are about keeping... Come on, camera. Hang on, there we go. They are about keeping your feet very firmly on solid ground. Come on, camera. Can we have some focus, please? Here we go. Can we please focus on something, camera? Oh, hold on. I don't know why it's doing this now. Come on, camera. I'll tell you what. Let's just go back to that one temporarily, and I will... how can I know what I'll do. I'll just put the thingy across. Nope. Oh, well, there you go. I've moved it and now it's perfectly in focus, and I've moved it back and now it's not. There we go. Right. Okay. So here we go. Where is the thingy? There. Right. Bear with everybody. It's an autofocus camera. Why aren't you focusing down here, camera? There we go. Thank you. So the 4 of Swords. Swords, as you all know, is, for me, it's the suit of trouble and strife. It is the suit of hurdles, challenges, and obstacles. It is the suit that is sent to try us. Now, the thing about the swords, bear with it, will come back into focus, I hope. There we go. The thing about the swords is that it's going to be those challenges in life, some of which we need, because we need to be challenged. It keeps us on our toes. It's how we learn. It's how we move forward. Sometimes, though, too many swords and it can be overwhelming. Now, this way, you can see that the person is just sat in the chair, right? They just sat in the chair. Everything is not just stable. It's so boring they've fallen asleep. So there are no challenges in life with this one. I don't know why the camera's doing this today. It hasn't done it at all, has it? On the previous streams. Come on, camera. What is going on? There we go. So this way round, I have no control over this camera, unfortunately. There's no software that's allowing me to control it. Oh, don't do this. Okay, I'll tell you what. Right, I'll tell you what. This way round, right? I can't believe we're going back to that, but okay. When the Four of Swords is like this, okay, it very much is saying that this isn't somebody who is bored. If you look at the card when it's upright, this is somebody who is switched out, switched off, not involved. The countryside is burning down around them. They are just completely oblivious, right? This is saying this is where you are right now. So there is something here that you really need to know, Melinda, because it's saying there is something here that you are so switched off to, you are not seeing what's going on, if that makes sense. You're not seeing the danger around you. You're not seeing how bad things actually are. And it's that and again, it isn't a boredom thing with this four. It is literally you've disconnected. For whatever reason, you have disconnected. Again, linking in with this star signifier, I think that's really important to keep coming back to, because if the star is saying, and it's warning is, you need to keep your feet on the ground, and you know you've got 1 foot on reality and 1 foot in that emotional water of life, that emotional water, then are you getting dragged into your emotions? This suggests as well that perhaps you are blinkered as to what is actually going on, and you need to be a bit careful, because when we've got the what you need to know, we've got the King of Pentacles reversed. Now it is the better of the two sides, if you like, for the King of Pentacles, but again it's come up reversed. Now Pentacles is work, career, finance, but it's also growth, and it's also, you know, you're looking at things like authority figures, things like that, kings of bosses, perhaps partners, perhaps. This King of Pentacles is all about that work, career, finance energy. Okay, so what you need to know, is there somebody in your life who is somehow in control of your money, or somehow, connected to your money, how you earn your money? This could be a boss, this could be a partner, but this person, with it being reversed, this person might not have the best of intentions around how they're treating you, around money and around finances. Now, if that's a partner, red flag immediately. If it isn't a partner, if it's something to do with work, again, be very careful, because if this is a boss, this boss does not have your back. This person wants to tell you what to do. They want to control, and they want to control that financial element of you. Now, as we all know, if somebody else is in charge of your finances, they effectively are in charge of your freedom. So if you are working, and I don't think you are at the moment, are you, because you were poorly, but if someone else is dealing with your financial stuff, try and get control, try and assert your rights, even if you feel that it's a bit beyond you. Get some legal advice, get some financial advice. The reason I'm saying that is because the very next card, as much as we said that King is that authority, the next card is the Emperor reversed. Okay, again, it's the better of the two sides. This Emperor is talking about the emperor is the ultimate boss, the ultimate authority figure, right? And this emperor is reversed. This is somebody who is really trying to dominate, really trying to lay down the law in terms of your life right now. Okay, so again, if this is financial, then you need to get this looked at. I know that there was a thing because of everything that's happened with you recently. I know there was a thing that, you know, you're no longer able to carry on with the job that you had. Have a look into that, because it feels with these cards, either there is somebody close to you trying to control you financially, or your ex-boss or your boss that you've still got. I'm not quite sure how it's all sort of fading out, but your boss or somebody that's got some sort of element over your finances is not playing fair. They're not doing what's right. They're going to be trying to get away with stuff, and because you're in your emotional sense with it, because of the star, because you are dealing with that emotional connection and hoping things will work out, you can very easily let them get away. Okay, you need to, on this, I really think you need either legal advice, or you need to see a lawyer, or you need to see something, right? Again, this it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. There is something he's trying to pull. He's trying to pull a fast one. Get financial advice. Get legal advice. There is something here that they are not doing that they have to. All three cards have come up reversed. I mean, the worst of them is the king. It's come up reversed on the worst side. Okay, this is somebody who does not give a monkey's. And did you get two king? Oh no, sorry, it's not the king, is it? It's the four. But this is that element of you not seeing what is actually going on, you not seeing the warning, the smoke. Honestly, speak to a charity, and please, I know this is just for entertainment purposes only, and you make all your own decisions, but please, Melinda, this is really important. The cards have given me the same reading. It's very similar, or it feels similar. I don't remember previous readings, but it feels similar to the reading that you had before in terms of alarm bells. These cards are starting to scream at you, my darling. You need to get some advice on this. Thinking, hoping, wishing that things will work out, that's grand. And I know that in a fair society, things would work out and you would get exactly what you're deserved and exactly what is right. But this is a commercial, what's it called, consumer capitalist world that we live in, and people will try and do you over to save money, right? They absolutely will. If you can't afford a lawyer right now, or a financial advisor, or one of those type of peoples, speak to a financial charity, speak to a legal aid charity, speak to someone who is there and able to get you some advice. Speak to I don't know if you've got a union or an ombudsman or somebody that can actually give you some impartial advice from the legal side of what they're trying to do, because this does not sound right. And what the cards are saying is that someone is trying to play you. Someone is absolutely trying to do you out of what you are deserved, and you don't deserve that. Okay, so however you do it, even if even if you have to speak to a lawyer and get them to do it pro bono, or a payment plan, so that, you know, you say to them, I am absolutely skint right now, I just need some advice. Depending on that advice, I will, you know, I will arrange to pay you at whatever money for whatever. Just you need some advice on this. Honestly, my darling, honestly, I would not. I think if you don't get that independent legal or financial advice on this matter, you are going to regret it, because you will be signing away what you are entitled to. And that feels that that's what that emperor is trying to do, because the empress is the one who's in control and cares about her people. The emperor doesn't give a flying monkeys. He's just the bean counter. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question, my darling. Right, let me have a wee look. Let me see if I can have a look over on this thingy again. If it needs to be, maybe it doesn't like the green light, I don't know. Let me turn that off. Oh, the instant I turn the green light off, it comes back. Okay, that's good to know. Right then, my darling, let's have a look. Hello, Shirley. Hi, everyone. Flowers and what are they called? Shamrocks. Flowers, roses and shamrocks. I think that needs to be. Wouldn't that be a lovely channel name? What's the other word for shamrock? It's clover. Roses and clover. That would be nice, wouldn't it? They're sending you to another specialist to get a second opinion. Get advice. Get advice. Document everything. Like video everything. Get advice, video everything, take someone with you, all of the above, my darling. Okay, Sarah's gone for a cuppa. Make us one while you're there, love. I'm nearly out of my coffee. Luckily, I've got a backup coffee. Legally, they're supposed to find you a position to accommodate your restrictions. Yeah, listen, right, that's is it called the Disabled Americans Act or something? That's, you know, if it's the same as it is over here, they have to make reasonable accommodations. Not that I've been watching a lot of legal stuff on YouTube's about America at all, you understand. But reasonable accommodation just means you can go in the lift. The fact that if you go in the lift and there's a fire, you can't get out is, you know, they'll deal with that after the fact. But yeah, again, honestly, my darling, you need proper legal advice on this, and you really do. You really do. You really do. You love it. Yeah, I know, right? Roses and clover. Isn't that a song? Isn't that a in clover, over and over, something and clover. Oh, that's a song. It's like a hippie band song. It's not Fleetwood, but oh my God, my brain's going to be... Do you know what? The other day, right, I said something to Rufus. He said, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, I'll order one on Amazon. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and went, hand soap, because I'd forgotten what it was I was supposed to order. And we couldn't remember. Crimson and Clover. Who was it? Who was that? Thank you, Holland. I knew Holland would get it. Good evening, Ed. I hope you're well. Who sang Crimson and Clover? Oh, I don't know who it was, but I want to play it now and I can't. Anyway, so I woke up literally and went, Rufus, hand soap. And he was like, what? I said, it was hand soap. I need to buy hand soap. The Shondells, was it? I don't think that's who I'm thinking of. But anyway, yes, everyone's saying good evening to Ed. Shall we have another round? I think we should. Let's, because I've only had one round, haven't we? We've only had one round, I know, right? Let's have a round. If you want a tarot reading, this is what you need. Go ahead, pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. One of those will be chosen at random by the keeper of the questions. Don't forget, if you want to send your question through as a super chat, that will guarantee that you get the next reading. Okay, that is the only way to guarantee it on this channel. And if you want a longer reading, a 6 or 7 card reading, you can do so by sending a super chat of at least whatever I said on that thing, £8 or $10 US. Look at me, I was doing another thing and I forgot. But if you would like a reading and you do send a super chat, just bear in mind, if I get multiple super chats in the same time, I will read them in the order they come in. Okay, but if you want to throw your hat in, your name in the hat, do so right now. Start with the word question. You've got 30 seconds. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Black Hearts.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. That was the version I was thinking of. So yes, it looks as if we have Elena. Elena, good evening, my darling. Is it true this person wants to reconcile with me, as I've heard from a friend? Ooh, Interesting. Do you know what? Let me just put my coffee there. Let's have a look, shall we, my darling? We'll have a look for you, Alina. Hopefully. Shall we try with the white light? I don't know why this is doing this. It hasn't done this at any point. Right. We're going to try it again with the other camera. It hasn't had this focus issue at any point, but we're going to go ahead and try and ring the bell, cleanse the space, and we're going to bring in Wispy, the always, always, always amazing air elemental dragon. So then, I know that we're a little bit off center now, so that should help. So what I'm going to do then, I'll tell you what, Alina, because I'm experimenting with some different styles of reading on the channel at the moment. Wispy, we're going to choose a signifier, okay, for Alina, and a signifier for the person that may or may not want to reconcile. Okay, so then let's have a signifier for Alina. Oh, right. This is the devil. Now, this doesn't mean that you are a devil, or that Satan or Lucifer or Beelzebub or Old Nix, any of that lot, right, is involved in any way in this. It does not mean that. Look at these cards. Look, it's 3D. Ooh, it doesn't mean that, right? What the devil means is it could be materialism. It could be temptation. It could be things that are on offer, offers that you shouldn't accept, things you know are bad for you. This is the card. If you're on a diet, right, and you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, this is that card. Too much temptation. This is the card also that does relate to, because we've got this couple here that are chained, it relates to both contracts and marriage. So this is your signifier. I think that you are wanting, or you are being tempted by this. Okay, Patricia in the chat is an amazing person, one of our mods, but Patricia always said there is a reason that they are your ex. Okay, there is a reason this person is an ex. Just bear that in mind. This feels like perhaps you might be getting swept into this idea of temptation. Let's have a look, Wispy, then, for... I'm just going to go with the next card, Wispy. So the person... No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I'm going to do a random. Okay, so then I'm being Wispy's. No, we're going to do a random. So we're going to do a random. Wispy, the person, the signifier for the person that may or may not want to reconcile with Alina. Okay, is... Okay, we've got temperance. Okay, they do actually want to make amends. Temperance, that okay, is a little bit surprising. Temperance is all about that idea of you know, pouring oil and water, you know, that idea of making things work and finding a way through, finding that middle ground. Temperance is really interesting, because it does feel as if I'm not sure whether this person wants to reconcile, but they certainly feel bad and they want to make up for what they've done, Alina. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should absolutely go back into a relationship with them. Absolutely not. But if this is... And again, the cards would be a bit more... I mean, this could be up reversed. It's not. The cards would be a little more cautious if this person had ulterior motives. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that you've got temperance, it feels like this person may actually want to make amends for what happened. Be careful that you aren't suckered in, though, because that devil card is that that temptation element of, you know, perhaps you were done wrong in the relationship in the past and it was a bit sort of unfinished business, if you know what I'm saying. So then, Wispy, what we are looking at, should Alina make contact with this person? Okay, should they make contact with this person, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's a relationship? Should Alina make contact? Is that a good option for what's to come? Okay, is that a good option? Where am I drawn to? Oh, excuse me if you heard that. Oh, I had a hiccup that turned into a burp. I do apologise. Where we're going here. We're going here. Right. What have we got? Okay, I thought it was the Hierophant, but it's the Emperor. Okay. So okay, so the Emperor is all about control, authority, and getting things done. The Emperor is very much a card of decisiveness. Okay. Also connected to, as I say, connected very strongly with authority figures and with an authoritarian type way of being. The Emperor is somebody who likes to be in control, likes to basically controls not just their own life but the people all around them. So the question is, should you go with that authoritarian? Should you, attempt to reconcile and contact this person? Listen, I think this element of control, if you can do it under controlled circumstances, right? If you can do it in a way where you maintain that control of how you connect, and almost, I think, thank you, Wispy, I think it's literally with these three cards, it's a case of, look, by all means, this person is genuinely trying to make amends. This person is genuinely trying to be collaborative, be, supportive and come back and all of that. They're trying to do that, appeasing what went wrong. They're really honestly trying. Does that mean you can trust them? I don't know, but be careful, okay? You need to maintain control in this, Alina, because be careful, because you are going to be tempted, right? And whether that is tempted to believe somebody, I have a sibling who has told me to my face many times, we will never fall out again. I love you, I miss you, I'll never ever fall out with you, I really want you in my life, blah 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 blah. And 2 or 3 months later, 2 or 3 weeks later, sometimes less than that, it's F off, you're an effing this, that and the other, I hate you, I never. And literally sometimes there's been no contact in between those two lots of messages. So every time I used to get my heart broken every time it came back as an F off, and then I was just like, do you know what, I don't believe a single word they say now. So whenever that sibling, I mean, we haven't had contact in over a year, but whenever that sibling would message, I would just be like, don't believe you, sorry, cried wolf too many times. And so that is, this devil card is you kind of wanting that idealized, being tempted by that idealized vision, by that, do you know what, it didn't work out last time, but it might work out this time, blah 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 blah, right? Be careful. I think as much as it feels like, as much as I'm trying to say to you to try and maintain control, how can I put this? Listen, I'll tell you what, right? The Emperor, when the Emperor comes in, it tends to be a male figure, very masculinized energy, and somebody who likes the final say. Okay, so it could be a boss, it could be somebody who has that element of control over your life. Okay, when I say a boss, it's like this is the person who signs your checks and tells you what time to wake up and, tells you how high to jump, all of that type of stuff. So if that is if you get that sense that this is what that friend or partner or whoever it is, family member, is like, then you have to make that decision. Okay, and the decision is very simple. They might genuinely want to try and make amends for what they've done, but if they are coming in with that Emperor energy, that may be impossible, because that may be too ingrained in their personality, if you get what I'm saying, right? If, however, this Emperor is suggesting that you need to maintain that control so that you are able to see how things go, then it won't relate to that person's personality, and only you will know that, because I don't know this person. But be very careful, because this Devil card, it's going to be very easy for you to be misled, because you want to see the best of things, you want to give them a chance, you want to not err on the side of caution, what's it called? You want to see the best in them. There's another phrase that my brain's forgotten, but you want that, and so you'll give them another chance. But if they're not coming genuinely, they might want to reconcile, they might want to make amends, but if they're still bringing that authoritative energy, then you've got to question how long before, if the authoritative energy was the problem, then how long before that comes back? Do you know what I mean? If that Emperor energy was the issue before, then be bloody careful, because we've all seen and again, I don't know whether this is a personal relationship, as in a couple, or whether this is a family member, whether this is a boss, but we've all seen those situations with friends or on telly or in movies where you can see the person who is being controlled and manipulated in a relationship. They finally get out of that situation, and then the person who was doing the manipulation and the control says, oh, but I've changed, I miss you, I love you, I'm so sorry, I'll never happen again, you know, please take me back, I promise, and they do that, and then it's fine for 2 or 3 months or 6 months or a couple of however long, and then it reverts back to type, and that controlling, negative, manipulative energy comes back in. Just be careful. If this authority card, I know I'm harping on about it, I'm sorry, but if this Emperor card reflects them, maybe be careful, because that Devil card is a bit of a worry. Not because I'm saying in any way, shape or form that, you know, you're going to be easily led, because I don't think you are. It's just that you are going to be far more tempted to give them the benefit of the doubt than they would if the situation was reversed. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. Right, oh gosh, I can't see. Let's have a look in the chat. Excuse me, let me have a look. Elena. Oh yes, yeah, it was Joan Jett. You only know one Joan Jett song. I was about to say, is it I Love Rock and Roll? That's the other one. And there's also, there was another one that I was about to sing to you, and I completely forgot what it was. Sarah's Back. Yeah, it's always that one. Yeah, I agree. He's authoritative. Well, be careful then. Be careful then. If he is that Emperor laying down that law, be really careful, because he will revert back to type. If there was a controlling element in the relationship or friendship or whatever it was, if there was a controlling element where at any point you were nudged away that you didn't want to go, or worse, be very careful, because that Emperor, once an Emperor is an Emperor, they will fight tooth and nail to maintain that control. We've all seen things like Game of Thrones, or you look back at the history in the UK or anywhere across the world where you've got sort of leaders that, look at Russia at the moment, Trump in America, kings and queens of old in England, where they will fight tooth and nail with their entire kingdom to keep their position. Emperors do that. That's what they do. They will walk over people to maintain their position. Be careful, my darling. Yeah, is what I would say to that. But again, you do make your own decisions about your own life. It does feel very much that they do regret their actions. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to repeat. You know what I mean? he likes to be. Right, in that case, my darling, listen, again, just be warned. There's a reason you're not in that relationship. Nanette, you've got an update on Grandma. Good. She just got out of surgery and she's in the surgery recovery room. Oh, yay. Oh, hang on. Have I got it? Hang on. Yay. We'll give Grandma the clap. Oh, I'm so happy, Nanette. I'm so happy. We'll keep Tank with you for some recovery time. But yeah, I am so happy, my darling. I am so happy. Yes, look at this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me again, I'm an idiot. Or as George W. Bush once said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, a fool can't be fooled again. Because he forgot what the saying was. I know, right? Maybe he had ADHD. Hi, Flower Beauty. I hope you're okay. Yep. I agree, Sarah. Thank the gods, old and new. Everybody's saying hello to Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. Yep. I know, right? Patricia's very wise. Yeah, exactly. It can take a while in recovery to get things under control. It really can, my darling. Okay, my love. Absolutely no problem. No problem at all, Flower Beauty. Listen, you will have to say, right? You will have to say, hi, it's me, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Right? Because it turns out, you know, mods, for a few weeks, I've been asking for Crystal Rose's information so I can get that sent out. It turns out I already had it. It was just under a different name and I didn't recognize it. And so as I was going back, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't find anything. So yeah, just be aware of that. No problem at all, my darling. Yeah, it's just be careful, my darling. Just be careful. It's listen, in affairs of the heart, it can be very, very difficult, can't it? Because we all want to. Never will get back. You're just curious. Yeah, this is it. There's a reason our eyes are in the front of our heads. So we can only look forward. Do you know what I mean? If we were meant to look back at where we've been in life, our eyes would be behind us. They would be in our bottoms. And I've cleaned that up. So yeah. Yep, everyone's saying hello. Welcome back for Flower Beauty. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Oh, no problem at all, my darling. Not like a Grimm's fairy tale. It will go in the junk file. Yes, that happens a lot. That does happen a lot. I do get emails, and reminds me, I've got to answer an email. I got an email from somebody on Fiverr going, can I have a reading? Yes. Just go for it. Oh, here we go. Culture Envy. Thank you very much for that. I was about to open a round. You snuck in right there and then. You think you're showing ambition and you've done a good job on a project at work. Is this improving your standing with your boss? My gut instinct is absolutely it is, but we'll ask the cards. So then, just before I was about to open a round, I am going to. I tell you what, Culture Envy, I will hit this button in a second because I need to slurp some coffee. I know it sounds awful, and I also need to clear my throat. I don't know if you can hear. I've got a bit of a frog stuck in my throat, so bear with me 1 second. I'm going to hit this video button, which tells us all about the Crow collection, Crow Collective. Sorry, got the wrong words. My voice is going. That's not good. I'm going to hit this and I will be with you in 30 seconds, my darling, and we'll do your reading then. Okay, so don't go anywhere. 30 seconds. This is all about our channel memberships.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks and more. Just click on join for more information. Thank you to all our members.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I'm not on screen. Hold on. There we go. I'm not on screen. So then I've got to say, my darling, I've got to say that the I'm changing the membership. The top level was £5. It's now going to be £3. Okay, because if I try and cancel it, everybody who's already members with their member coloured cups will have to re-sign up. And you'll lose all of that. You've been with us so many months and all of that. So I'm just going to change the amount on it. I can't make it the same price as the entry level at $2.99, unfortunately, because it won't let me. I tried. So that's what I'm going to do. So I will be changing that over tonight. So hold off if you are a member whose membership is due like in the next couple of hours or today. Hold off once I'm done with this reading. With this live stream, I will change it over, so that would be the rate would be $2.99 or £3, so pretty much exactly the same, with a penny difference. Anyway, right then, let's go. Let's lock and load, shall we? So we change the camera. Hopefully this is going to stay focused. Yay. And we have the ever lovely Wispy. So Wispy, Culture Envy would like a reading. They've are they showing ambition? Right, they've shown ambition, sorry, and they've done a good job at work. Is this looking good from the perspective of the boss? Is this improving the way the boss looks at Culture Envy's career, future, all of that jizzy jazz? Right, is that something that Culture Envy is doing for their doodah, for their career? Is that a good thing that is happening? Right, that's what we want to know, Wispy. So again, I'm going to pull, I'll tell you what, I like this idea of pulling the signifiers from the majors. So we're going to do the same again, actually. We're going to do the same again. Okay, let's have a look. So we're going to go with, I'll do the first one on the cut, Wispy. There we go, we've got 2 cards up for the cut. So this is the signifier for Culture Envy, right? Culture Envy. Ooh, you got the Empress. My favourite card in the deck. I have to say that every time she appears. Now, she is reversed. Okay, so I'll show you her upright. You can see this is a beautiful Empress. I love this Empress. She's very, very lovely, right? This Empress, look at that. You can almost see the waterfall running in the background. This Empress is, the Empress is all about nurturing and bringing people together. She's a card about abundance and nurturing, family, all of these really kind, loving things. As I said before, the Emperor is very much authority by the book. He controls the way the empire is run. The Empress is the one who looks after the people of the empire, if that makes sense. So he's like, we need more taxes, we need more this, we need more that. And the Empress is the one that says, right, we're going to build this hospital, this school, this bridge, whatever it is, right? They work in tandem, but the Empress is the heart, the emotions of the Emperor. So she's a very good card to come up in terms of how you are seen. However, she is reversed. Now, as a signifier for where you stand with in this situation, it almost feels like you, I'm just going to say it, my darling, it feels like no matter what you do in this situation, it isn't going to change, right? So whatever the standing is with your boss, it's almost like you're never going to have that warm relationship, right? That Empress vibe is never going to be the vibe between the two of you. It's just not there. That connection is just not happening on that level, right? The prosperity element, it probably means that you aren't going to be first in line for promotions, things like that, because there isn't that element there isn't that strong connection. But let's pull a signifier, and Wispy will pull a signifier for the boss, and we're going to go random for the boss. We're going to go here. I don't know why, but we're going here. So random signifier for the boss. We've got the Chariot. Oh, the boss. The boss doesn't care. The boss doesn't care about the team. whatever this is, right, whatever this connection is, this boss has got ideas. She, hang on, is this improve my standing with my boss? They, I don't know the gender of the boss, they are just in it for what they can get out, right? So they are, this for them is stepping stones to promotion. They are on this this journey of themselves. The Chariot here, the Chariot is all about a journey. This is all about sometimes tarot readers will say it's a move, as in a physical move. I don't think it is. I think this is that journey. This is like career steps, career plans. If the boss feels that you are helping their career, right, and you are of value to their career plans, then it will hold you in good standing, right? But their primary focus is about their journey, not even necessarily about the journey of the business, the company, any of that stuff, just where they can get ahead. This is the sort of boss that would absolutely, you know, work really hard, fire 3 people, make a leaner team, get to the point where, oh yes, now, and then jump ship to another company. You know how like all the executives of, I don't know, the person that runs Disney used to run Warner Brothers or something, and they used to hate each other, but now, you know, oh, Disney's looking to employ someone, we'll get the person that used to run our enemy's business. Do you know what I mean? It's all of that stuff. This card is saying that the boss is somebody like that. They are just about their journey. This is about winning and about it's almost like yuppie 80s kind of capitalism type vibe, because this Chariot rider is in their armor, right? They're in there. Look at that shiny silver armor. They're in this golden polished chariot. This is not the chariot they won the chariot races in. This is the one they are doing a tour. This is the one they are heading back to the kingdom, wherever it is. They are heading back going, look at me, I won, I'm so clever. This is Trump in his golden plated towers or whatever the hell it is, right? This is all of that. This is all show and no grow. But no, this is, and this is that element of the Chariot where it's all about them and how they see themselves. It's very narcissistic, this element of the Chariot. So I don't think, looking at these two, these two are not like, they're not linked, are they? Right? They are not linked. The Empress and this Chariot, these are not two cards that would naturally go together. So I don't think there is a warm, loving vibe here between the two of you. And we're going to go with, where are we going, Wispy, for? In fact, what should the question be? How does... Oh, interesting. Wispy, how does culture envy can culture envy getting better standing with the boss? Is there a way for culture envy to turn the relationship so that they're in better standing with the boss, right? Is there a way to do that? Is there a way to do that? This card keeps screaming at me. I don't know why. And the answer is, oh, there is. Right. Okay. So the Magician. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. The Magician. Okay, so the Magician is all about you having the tools at your fingertips, right? You've got the ability to change things and manifest the world around you. You absolutely 100% have that ability, right? You can do what it takes to get your boss's good graces, right? You've got that ability, my darling. What I think you need to do is almost... I understand that perhaps this boss's personality type is all about how they can get ahead, right? And it's almost like playing psychology with them. You've got the tools, you've got the ability, you've got this, you've got the knack, you've got the skill, right, to do this. It's about finding the way and playing the game, right? You're going to have to play that corporate game, unfortunately. And I do think that is what it's about with this particular boss. It feels very much that they want to, they want to advance and move forward, right? So I do think you can. How you do this, I think for me, the magician is all about learning and learning to put these tools into place. So I don't know if there is, I don't know. Oh God, it sounds almost like you need to brown nose them, doesn't it? I don't think brown nosing will work, but it's ooh. I think doing tasks that will make it easier for the boss, taking stuff off of their plate without adding to your own workload and without brown nosing, right? Finding a way to do that is going to be the way to get in with this boss, right? The question is though, my darling, do you want to work for somebody who is like that? Do you want to, you know, put your heart and soul into something that they are just going to take credit for? Because that's the sort of boss that you're dealing with this chariot, embodying a personification. I do think you've got that ability, but for me, the magician is more about you've got that ability to become the boss. Do you know what I mean? You've got that ability to actually move forward within the company. Maybe have a look, maybe do a skills audit on yourself, right? I don't know if you know the term skills audit, but it's basically have a look at what your skills are, right? From a cold, hard perspective, if you were to employ yourself, what would you say in an interview are your skills? And don't just include, I've got a BA in this, a master's in that, I've got a, you know, GCSE French or whatever the hell it is. Not that. Look at things like, actually, I am incredibly good with people. My customer service reviews are always in the highest blah, blah, blah. I am somebody who, you know, is consistently good with numbers or something. Or I am somebody who is, you know, I take to new software incredibly fast. I'm a very quick study when it comes to new software, right? Those type of skills, anything that is transferable, anything that you have been doing in this workplace that you can move somewhere else and adapt, because lots of skills are completely adaptable for lots of different jobs, right? So have a look at that. Know your worth. Do a skills audit. Look at yourself and go, right, actually, these are the qualifications I've got or haven't got. It doesn't matter. This is what I bring to any job, right? I care passionately about my job. I care passionately about, you know, maybe you are like the chariot here. Maybe you are somebody who is all about the bottom dollar, the bottom line, you know, hitting those targets, hitting that sales, you know, PSIs, or, you know, I mean, KPIs, that's the word. Key performance indicators. You're very led by that, in which case, you know, maybe you look at all of that skill set and say, I would also be very good in XYZ types of jobs. Don't just think about this particular job with this particular boss, because I don't think this particular boss is necessarily somebody who is going to, it's not that they're not going to be in that position. They're going to be in that position while it suits them. Okay. The minute that things start slowing down for them, they will be looking at another position within the company or even another company. It all depends on how you want to approach things. Personally, I think you've got the skill set with this magician. I think you've got the skill set to move ahead regardless of what of this particular boss thinks. Do you know what I mean? I hope that helps. I do think you're in good standing with the company maybe, but be careful, because it feels like this boss will absolutely take credit for your work. And it will be a case of my management skills, my ability to lead the team have meant that Culture Envy has upped their performance quotas from 7 to 24, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Before I spoke to Culture Envy, they were achieving a 70% blah blah blah, and now they're achieving a 79%. I have, you know, made that was all on me. I led my team members. Do you know what I mean? Be careful of that. I hope it helps. I do think this is that key card for me, the magician. I keep harping on about it because it's saying that you absolutely deserve a hell of a lot more. You just need to have faith and belief in your own skill set, because I think that you can absolutely prove your worth. It's just, I don't think this manager really gives a flying toss who he employs, they employ, she employs. I really don't think they do. I think it's a case of, you know, you are a bum on a seat, you are a number in a, I don't know, pay packet. Do you know what I mean? However it works, you are just somebody that is there doing that job. If it's not you, it will be someone else. I don't think they have that level of managerial empathy or managerial connection. Feels like you could with this Empress, but not them. Hope that helps. I hope it makes some sort of sense, and I hope it answered your question. The too long didn't read version is, I don't think it's improving your standing, but I don't think that anything you do could necessarily improve your standing. I think your boss is aware that you are working better, harder, whatever, but I think your boss is probably the one taking the doodah. So yes, thank you. Let me have a look. God, the chat's gone bonkers. This boss is kind of trying to push you out. Ooh. Okay. What's oh, what? I don't know what you're doing on Sunday Ninette. A tournament on Gore's channel. I don't know what that is. Okay. Culture. Try a little soft soaping. Tell her how much her help and support has helped you. Yeah, I mean that might also be a good thing. Oh, he's a he and he's very selfish. Yeah, I mean that might be a good thing. Just try not to don't over egg the pudding, because he might think you're coming on to him. Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things where I think, you know, this boss is going to take a lot of credit for the work that you do. If you're happy with that, you know, so be it. But yeah, I mean, the only thing we're doing too much of that, there is a slight downside. You're learning some coding stuff to make him happy. I mean, that's going to stand you in good stead or whatever anyway. Listen, I shouldn't say this, right? But listen, with my union with my union rep hat on, right? Get anything the company offers in terms of training. Anything at all. If it's coding, if you end up with a qualification, or you just end up with a whole bunch of experience in coding, that will stand you in good stead somewhere else, right? So if you do that, and then you do, oh, actually, I would also be the first aider, or the fire warden, or the, you know, I will do some graphic design work as well, or I will do a, you know, whatever it is. If your employer is paying you to train, to do something in your workspace, department, office, whatever, right? Those skills, that training can be used somewhere else. So even if your boss is a prize and not a plonker, which is a polite way of saying other words that I will get stopped and shadow banned on YouTube for, if your boss is a prize and not a plonker, you can almost say, let's call him Jeremy. Right, I don't know why Jeremy stuck with me over the last couple of days, hasn't it? But anyway, but we'll say Bob. So you might just go, Bob, I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me, keywords, for taking on some coding and for learning some more about coding. I would be really interested. This is really interesting, actually. Is there a chance to maybe formalize my training in the form of a qualification? Because I think that would show really well, you know, for me. And I would love for it to reflect on you that you've got another member of staff who is qualified in coding XYZ. You know what I mean? Or you say, I've really enjoyed this learning about coding, Bob. You know, I'd really like to expand that, because I would like to see how I can use this in a graphics form, or I can use this in a novel way with 3D modeling, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know anything about computer coding, but you know what I mean? Because then you can get your boss to sign off on you getting all of this other training, which adds to your resume, adds to your skill sets, makes you more and more and more employable, but also, right, with the union hat on, it also means if the company has invested XYZ money, dollars, pounds, lira, euros, whatever it is, in you as a person by paying for you to do some training, even if that is just an online course, or even if it's just so you've got 3 hours on a Friday afternoon off to go and learn by yourself on YouTube or whatever the hell it is. If they are paying and investing in you, they are less likely to fire you, right? Your boss is less likely to be able to get rid of you just because they don't like you, right? They're much less likely to be able to do that because they would have to justify, well, hang on a second, why are you getting rid of Culture Envy in June when in April we were providing them with coding training? Why is that? Why is that a thing? You have to your boss would have to justify that then. Do you know what I mean? It not just makes you more employable, it makes you harder to justifiably sack. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, he doesn't let you have any juicy products and he takes credit for your ideas. Then do you know what else you do? You submit all your ideas. If you submit them on paper, you put a paper trail in place. You submit it not just to his boss, you accidentally, or you CC in, not just to your boss, you CC in someone else, or you make sure that, documents are somehow watermarked or signed with your name or with your, or you leave a key factor off of that design and, you put in the thing to be explained within the meeting. There are ways and means that you can make sure that that comes back to you to fully explain why in diagram 3 this figure hasn't been fully tallied, because actually, as you can see in this other diagram that I prepared for you for Thursday morning, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? There's ways and means of doing that as well. Yes, I agree. Pay it like working girl. I don't know what that means. Your microwave is being weird. That's interesting. You're so glad you're retired and out of that crappy world. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'm glad that helps. Thank you, my darling. Right, shall we have the last round of the evening? Yeah, you do. You've got all the skills you need. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, Culture Envy. You've got this, my darling. Yours was cutting for me. What kind of dogs do you have? Totally makes sense. Yeah, listen. Don't take on more work for free, but take on all the training that they will pay you to do, even if it doesn't make any sense in your work role currently, right? Honestly, paid training, no matter what it is, they might pay you to learn Spanish. That's phenomenal. Or they might pay you to, learn ASL, American Sign Language. That might be something you can use in your job. Whatever you can get your company to pay for, right? The more they invest in you, the harder it is for them to get rid of you. Honestly. And it might be something that you never use in your work life ever again for this company. But they've invested X dollars, X $100, X $1,000 in that training. It makes you harder to fire, unless you do stupid things. You know what I mean? Anyway, right. Right, let's go with one more round. Everyone's talking about their doggos. We've got 2 Staffordshire Bull Terriers called Elvie and Eddie, and Elvie is so much like her mum, who passed away last year, so much like her mum that actually I keep calling her by her mum's name. So it's like literally in the last few weeks, she looked so much like her mum did that both me and Rufus have both been doing it, and we've never done that. Like, it's never been a thing we've done. Anyway, let's go. The round is now open, the last round of the evening. Don't forget, come and join us on Sunday evening. By the way, if you haven't already, please do the YouTubey things. That's the thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ding your bell so that YouTube notifies you whenever I go live. There will be a witchy video coming up possibly this week, maybe this week. That will be a ritual video for April. There will also be at some point very soon some other videos talking about more magic-y stuff, and I want to do some more videos about tarot, not just doing the readings. Don't forget as well, for the members, we've got a live scheduled for Friday evening at 7 p.m. At least it should be scheduled for 7 p.m. For the members. And if you want to join the membership, you can do. You can become part of the Crow Collective by hitting the little button next to where you type. There's a little button there with $1 or a note. And if you click that, it will give you the option to send a super chat, send a super thanks, or to join. If you click the $2.99 option, the option above it was £5. That will be £3 straight after this stream. I'm gonna, in fact, I might even be able to change it. I might have a go at changing it right now. We're gonna have a waterfall. You got 30 seconds to get your questions in. Get them in now. Fingers crossed.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Yes, indeed. So then, keeper of the questions, who have we got for this evening? Keeper of the questions, who gets the last reading? Let me have a wee look. Let me have a look. Who gets it for the... Here we go. I'm doing it right now, everybody. I am doing it right now. Oh, why can't I change the amount? What? Oh, don't say I can't change the amount. That is bonkers. That is... Oh, okay. I might not be able to... Who have we got? Flower Beauty, my darling. Flower Beauty. Oh, it was only... Sorry, Flower Beauty. Oh, it's because I was trying to change the amounts in here. Where is your question, my darling? Where is your question? Where is your question? Oh, come on. My mouse buttons are starting to not work. My batteries. That's the word I was looking for, not buttons. Flower Beauty or to freelance. What? Oh, question. Career reading, please. Need to know whether to start a business, get a job, or freelance. I tell you what. Will do. I'm liking this majors thing at the moment. I think this is giving some really interesting readings. So we'll do that again, my darling. So we will cleanse the space as always and bring in Wispy. So then, Wispy, my friend, for the last time this evening, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow would like to know, they need a career reading. Okay, we need a career reading, and what we want to know is, do they start a business, get a job, or freelance? Okay, so what we're going to do, Wispy, because we're doing this slightly different tonight, it'll be back to regular type readings next week, unless we're enjoying this, in which case it might not. So then, the signifier, Wispy, for starting a business, right? We're just using the majors. So starting a business, the signifier for starting a business, we'll do on the drop. Okay, we've got the drop. One single card. So the signifier for that is the Fool reversed. Not a good time to start a business. Okay, so the signifier, the Fool would be about starting a new journey, right? So that would be good. When it's reversed, it's like, oh, maybe this isn't the right time. Maybe this is a foolish step. Maybe this is a step into the unknown. You can see with the Fool the right way up. Look, they're almost walking off. Look at that. I'm a dancing fool. They're almost walking off that cliff. Not quite. In a lot of decks, there's a little doggy here trying to stop them. But they're too busy sniffing their flower. It's not a euphemism. And staring off at the gorgeous vista over here. Right? They're going to walk off this cliff. Just what they're going to do. They're going to go, ah, plop. And off they. Luckily, the fall might only be a few feet. But this is not a good time. Right? This is not a good time. So when we're looking at the first option of starting your own business, this would not be a good time to do that. This Fool card is literally saying it would be foolish for you to do that. It would be foolish. It's the wrong moment to start that. Okay, so that's quite a definitive answer. By using the majors, we do get the more definitive answers. So then the second option, Wispy, the second option is to get a job. So to go back into probably permanent employment. So we've got a signifier for that one. And we're looking at, oh, it's another reversed. Strength reversed. Now you could look at this to say that's the weaker option, right? And that is almost like a weak way out. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I would say it could be a strong option. Literally with the strength card, it could be a good option. It could show that there is, you know, that you have the strength enough within to realize that actually working going back into corporate land, whatever that is, whether it's as a barista or a barrister, right? I know, right? Nice little play on words. Whatever it is that you would do, going back in and getting a full-time job or a regular kind of workplace job, it would kind of be admitting that you can't do it you can't start a business yet, and you need that rat race. Do you know what I mean? It would be kind of not admitting a weakness, because I don't think it is. But it would be something that you would be doing to put food on your table and a roof over your head. It's that strength of knowing when you need to not give up, but when you need to just do the uncomfortable thing for the right reasons. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say by that? And it is literally saying it might be something you absolutely hate, but if you're doing it for the right reasons, like Homer Simpson, when he had all those pictures of Maggie all around him in his booth, because that was, you know, do it for her. That was the reason that he was going into that nuclear plant day after day, was for Maggie, to get that job for Maggie. And this is that situation, okay? If you do have to go and get a job, it isn't a sign of weakness. It isn't admitting any wrongdoing or anything else. It is literally saying, I need this right now, especially because I think you're in America, so again you've got that American healthcare system, insurance system, all of that. Wispy, option 3 was to freelance, so it's kind of like in between the other two. Where are we looking at for freelance, Wispy? What am I feeling? What are we feeling with the cards? What are we feeling with the cards? Oh, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this one. Oh, the world. Ah, so freelancing might be a good way forward. For a start, Flower Beauty, Peacock Rainbow. For a start, it's the only upright card, right? Also, the world is a phenomenally positive card. This is showing that there is a potential here. You can step through this portal, right? Imagine this is a painting on a wall, but actually it's not a painting. It's a painting you can step through into a whole new world. This is a whole world of opportunities that is through this portal. Okay, there's a certain element about continuation, because in a lot of depictions this isn't actually just a wreath. This is an Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, or Ouroboros as they said in Red Dwarf. And this is a key signifier for things being a good omen, right? This is the end of a particular journey. So it may be that if you've been trying to do something on your own for a while, admitting that actually you want to go and do some freelance work so that you can maybe, again, put food on your table, a roof over your head, get that insurance, whatever it is that you need to do, maybe that's a good option if it leaves you time to follow your dream of starting that business or whatever it was. It feels very much like, with these two reversed cards, it feels very much like this card is suggesting that this is the way that the universe, that this will be the most fulfilling way for you. Okay, now I will say that I've said that a particular way because if you need to get health insurance and pay your rent and pay your bills and you are falling behind in all of that, admitting that actually this is a time where you need that corporate 9 to 5 BS, right? It might be that that's what you've got to do temporarily, and don't feel bad about that. This isn't a weakness, right? That would literally be, I am doing what I need to do to pay my bills, get my insurance, and cover my backside, right? Particularly in the economic climate that we're all facing. It's you know, let's be honest, it's tough times out there. Times are hard and friends are few. Do you know what I mean? And so it might be, although this is a really good option, it might be that it isn't the best time right now to do this. However, you're the only person that can make that decision, okay? And if freelancing, if you can find a way to make freelancing as emotionally fulfilling as doing your own business would be, or it would give you, you can freelance and still have time for a side hustle that will give you that you know, emotional fulfillment, then that's an option. If not, and if that won't provide enough financial cushioning, then don't feel bad about going back into the corporate world for 12 months, 24 months, 6 months, whatever it is that you need to do. None of these cards, the only one I would say absolutely to rule out right now would be starting your own business, right? That Fool is very, very, very definitely saying this is not the right time or moment for you for that. These two, there's an argument between. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to leave you with that, my darling. If you need that insurance, don't feel bad. I had to go and work in a call center after I swore I never would. And I was there for about, I think it was about 18 months in total. Might not have been that long. Might have been 11 months. I think it was 11. But it doesn't matter. Whatever it was, I hated it. Hated it with a passion every single day. But paid my rent, paid my bills, put food on my table, allowed me to clothe myself, allowed me to, you know, do all the things as an adult that we need to do. So, as I say, my darling, don't feel bad if that's what you need to do to look after number one. I hope that helps. No dream is done forever. If you want to start your own business, there is absolutely no reason why you can't do so. Just maybe not, this isn't the right time. Whilst there is breath in your body, you can always go and learn and make changes and start things. And I believe very, very firmly that if this isn't the right time for you to do something right now, but you've got a passion for doing it, you will make that time, you will make that happen when the time is right. Okay, again, Patricia always says what's meant for you won't pass you by. Might not be just right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Hope that helps, my love. I really do. Thank you so much for your question. We are almost on 9 o'clock. Look at me, not me finishing on time for once. Let me look in the chat. Border collies are wonderful friends. They are. They're pretty good pups, but I did at one point have 4 dogs, 4 cats, 3 lizards, and 4 rats and a hedgehog. We at one point had 23 rats. And the 2 dogs at that point. And 2 lizards. No, I think we had both beardies then as well. So we would have had 2 blue-tongued skinks, 2 bearded dragons, 2 Staffordshire Bull Terriers and 23 rats. I know, right? Bonkers. 3 dogs and 2 lizards. That's a good amount. Oh yeah, give all the doggos scratches behind you. I think every doggo, every pet, after the stream, go and give all of your pets a little scratch behind the ears or a rub on the tummy. You're in a creative profession, and you're in India, and that's what you do. Okay, my darling. Oh, look at that! You've just said that. I just said that, Sarah. You've completely got inside my head, or vice versa. Oh no, I hope it helps, Flower Beauty. I really, really, really do. But small furries, no, rats are so intelligent. They're about as intelligent as dogs. Unfortunately, though, they only live for 2.5 years. That's why we don't have any more. As I say, at one point we had 23. We had 4 big cages in here that were for elderly rats because people would just surrender them, and they would end up in places like Vets for Pets in the adoption centre, and they'd been with somebody for maybe a year or 18 months and they just didn't want them anymore. And I could not at one point walk away from an older rat because I knew if they weren't rehomed within a fairly short period of time, they would have been put to sleep. And it just broke my heart. So we ended up at one point with, as I say, 23. Oh, no problem at all, my darling. Okay, my darling, absolutely. No worries at all, my love. I hope that helps. Oh my God. You looked after your son's scorpion for 2 weeks. I am absolutely sure that was an eye-opening experience. Even if that was all that happened every time that you opened the cage or Viv and couldn't see it immediately. My God, scorpion. I think I would draw the line. I was about to say I'd draw the line at a spider, but I don't think I would. Or a tarantula. Tarantula is a spider, or a scorpion. I think I'm okay with them. Good evening to Grace. Grace, you are just on our closing time, my darling. It is, we've had last orders, if that makes sense. If this was a bar, we've had our last orders. It is now closing time. We are just on finishing. I was looking for this. You saw me looking everywhere then, didn't you? I was looking for this. But anyway, you got a good... What? Oh no, I forgot. Got a spood. A what? I don't know what that is. And a jumping spider. I don't think I could do jumping spiders. 2 did last for 3.5 years. Yeah, they can do. They absolutely can do. We bred them at one point, and ours, from our own stock, ours were living for up to that sort of time, sort of 3 to 3.5 years. But it's still heartbreaking. Anything that only lives for that short period of time, you get all connected and all lovey, and you have this, you watch them grow and their little personalities come out, and then they get poorly, and then that's it. It's absolutely heartbroken. Yeah, she passed with a molt problem. Oh, I couldn't do jumpy spiders. I could do a tarantula and I could do snakes. Like reptiles and things don't bother me, but I don't think I could do a jumpy spider. I don't think I could. Thank you, Dormouse. I know, right? It's because I'm fat. That's why when you're very fat, your heart grows. That's what it is. I know, right? That's that. Isn't it a famous Dr. Seuss thing? Their heart grew 3 times that day. Yeah, I think, isn't that the Grinch or something? The reason their heart grew 3 times that day is because they were morbidly obese and then they died the next week. You know what I mean? That's the untold story of the Grinch. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But I'm going to go now on that dark note. I know, right? Only I could take a happy Christmas story and make it doom and gloom. But we're going to go. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the slow growth of... I didn't know that. Spood is what you call a jumping spider. No, thank you. Jack's birthday this month. He's turning 9. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. I am lovely. I am just very fat. I've got eyes. I know when I look on screen, I can see this, same as you all can. Let's not pretend I'm a skinny one. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll get there. It will take me a year or two, but I will get there. But right now, still a fat one. Anyway, on that lovely note, I'm going to say thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to all of our wonderful moderators. You know how much I love you all. And thank you to all of you for subscribing, for being part of the channel, and also for becoming a member. I will try and sort this membership thing out to reduce that rate down for the existing members. I don't know whether it's possible. I really don't want you all to sign up again, but I will do my best if I can. I'll let the members know on Friday what I have discovered. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to say I will be back on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time, unless you remember, in which case I'll be back on Friday evening for a 2-hour bonus stream. And if not, I'll be back on Sunday at 6 for the members. There will also be a random video popping up, hopefully this week. I think I can get that into my schedule. And if for whatever reason you would like to book a private tarot reading, a longer full-on tarot reading, you can do so by going over to my gig on fiverr.com. The details are in the description box, as always. But for me, that's all I've got for you tonight. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks, and more. Just click on Join for more information. Thank you to all our members.
They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
'Cause she's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch. Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back.